Now, to practice all that if statement stuff and the related concepts a bit better, let's work on a new little application, a new little project, a little website here. As before, fully driven by browser-side JavaScript so that we can experiment with the things we learned and get a nice visual output for that. Now, this is the website I loaded. You find it attached, of course. Again, it's made up of an index.html file and of an assets folder. The assets folder holds a scripts folder with an empty app.js file and a vendor.js file, which is kind of a black box to us right now. It basically establishes a communication channel, you could say, between our HTML code and JavaScript so that we can manipulate the document we see there, something we will, of course, learn in great detail later in the course. We're just not entirely there yet. So for now, we just treat this as a black box that yields us some global variables we can use to listen to button clicks and so on. The app.js file is where we will write our code, and of course we also got some styles here in the app.css file. Side note, all these styles are optimized for Chrome because I recommend following along with Chrome here, not because JavaScript wouldn't work in other browsers, but simply, especially for the styles now, so that we all always have the same thing on the screen. Now, this is what we do have on the screen, and what we're building is a little monster killer application. We got the health of a monster and we got the health of a player. We also got a bonus life. In case our health drops to 0, we'll be able to recover one time only. We got 4 buttons which we can press to attack the monster, to launch a strong attack against the monster, to heal ourselves, and also to output some log information about the past rounds. Now, that's what we'll work on. Right now, nothing works because all the logic is, of course, something we will need to write. And maybe you can already see some of the if checks we probably will perform. Maybe some related to the buttons, whether we launch a normal or a strong attack. But also definitely we'll need to check after each round whether we won or not. So whether the health of the monster and or the player is below 0 and we therefore need to quit the game or stop the game. So that will be some if checks, and actually there will be a couple of other if checks as well, because we'll also add a functionality where when we load this page, we actually asked the player how much health monster and player should have, 100 health points, 50, 1000, and we'll need to check whether the value the user entered is a valid value, and so on. So there will be a couple of places where we need if checks, and therefore a couple of places where we can practice the things we learned. So let's dive right in.